run for the pressures of celebrity because I wanted to be a celebrity.
Be a young mum with 3 children and no income, living on an estate in Warrington. They'll tell you what pressure is.
Women will be trying to throw at me like frisbees, and I'll be catching them.
It can destroy people, it can build them up, and it can drop them.
Another star is torn. They have everything we could wish for, but for many stars in the 21st century, this doesn't seem to be enough. Now they want our sympathy. But why are so many going over the edge? Is it the pressure of fame that's causing them to self-destruct? Are they victims of celebrity overload? Drinks and guests mix at a party in London's West End. It's a social scene played out every night of the week. Many of us would like to sample this lifestyle, but fewer celebrities seem to be coping. If we're to believe the survivors, these parties are a glamorous veneer on a corrosive culture. But as the glasses are clear, the celebrities sleep through daytime TV and we face another packaged sandwich in the office, are we really wasting our sympathy on a generation of stars who've never had it so good?
I need me. Say hello to the girl that I am, and I don't wanna be so damn protected.
She certainly was when she flew into the UK. Britney stayed in the lap of luxury at London's Mandarin Oriental Hotel. It cost almost $5,000 a night. With this expensive view over Hyde Park, this is what you get for your £pounds. This is the Sovereign Suite at the Mandarin Oriental. Housekeeping have already been in and left some rather curiously shaped chocolate items for you to devour, perhaps while you're watching yourself on MTV. En route to the bathroom, you can maybe have a sip of champagne conveniently left there just before you enter the hall. And there is the bathroom itself, with that rather beautiful freestanding cast iron bath to watch that film of sweat off your beautifully aerobicized body. Then, after you've toweled yourself dry, perhaps you'd like a little rest in this rather glorious 4-post bed, just the place to rest your weary hair extensions.
The reality blurs. You know, because everybody does everything for you, you think that, you know, you sort of shout downstairs in the morning, I want to get up now, and somebody comes and baths you and gets you dressed.
We're told fame is the stairway to a heaven glittering with riches and flashbulbs, a seemingly endless conveyor belt of premieres and canapes. But for some, that glamorous illusion can become a distorted reality. Nestling in the Hollywood Hills is the refuge of an industry veteran. Carrie Fisher found a claim sandwiched between 2 Danish pastries of hair in Star Wars, but has spent 20 years since in therapy.
Well, I was famous. I mean, she was famous. The Princess Leia. And I looked like her. Coincidentally, I said I'm ugly in the movie. I said, what am I going to do now? I beat myself up. So it was an immense roller coaster thing for me, ending up ultimately in a hospital.
But if anyone should have been prepared for fame, it was Carrie. Her mother's 50s screen moppet, Debbie Reynolds, her father, the singer, Eddie Fisher, an alcoholic. Do you think that Hollywood can create that problem in someone?
What it can do is it can give you enough money to kill yourself. That's all. And it can get you people that will give you drugs happily. But all it'll do in that sense is it'll just hasten your downfall.
The story's as old as the Hollywood Hills. So why is there a seemingly endless queue of people waiting to walk down this familiar path to self-destruction? The breakneck speed of life here in Hollywood is often blamed for a slew of celebrity breakdowns, whether it be because of the ever-present paparazzi, the cocktail-fueled parties, or the constant networking. Sounds glamorous to us, but some psychiatrists suggest that brings with it its own set of problems.
This is Dr. Irene Casorla on Liberty Works Radio Network, and our next caller is Jennifer.
Yes, hi, doctor. How are you?
Treating the ills of Beverly Hills celebrities, Dr. Casorla records her radio show. She's the 4th emergency service for stars.
What happens with too much fame is they become self-destructive. And there are many vehicles for self-destructive. And usually depression is a large component of the, quote, breakdown. Their family is worried, their managers are worried. The managers are worried for different reasons than the family, of course. The managers are interested in keeping them working and making money.
And there's a history of stars becoming commodities. Judy Garland was addicted to the pills which kept her performing. Marilyn Monroe developed a taste for the drug she took to keep her hourglass figure. A breakdown can take many forms.
They gain weight, or they start drugs, or they start alcohol, because believe it or not, fame is in
Like so did Margot Kidder's career. The role of Lois Lane made her one of the world's highest paid actresses. Now she's better known for her breakdown 5 years ago. The Daily Planet loved it, but she hasn't talked about it since.
I had a psychotic breakdown and thought the CIA was chasing me and trying to kill me. Very complicated psychotic look back. And my daughter and sister filed a missing person report, and the police picked me up in someone's backyard. And so the reality of my manic depression, schizophrenia, whatever you want to call it, was, and it was all over the papers. And I was lying in a psych ward somewhere in Glendale with a lot of other people, staring up at a television report, watching an LA newscaster announcing my insanity on television.
Margot suffers from manic depression. She says celebrity didn't cause her condition, but the pressure of keeping it in the shadows while living in fame's glare eventually became unbearable.
That panic you feel as you walk up the red carpet, and there are hordes of people in bleachers screaming your name. And then there's 3 or 4 people, usually more actually, who are going to stop you and interview you about your date or your dress or whatever the hell. I remember flying from Montana to Salt Lake City, and my daughter was a baby, and she was 3, I guess. I had her in my arms, and it was right after Superman came out, and some woman literally pinned me to the wall in the bathroom, one arm on either side of me, and screamed at me that I had to talk to her, because that was the price I had to pay for fame.
If you're raised amid the palm tree splendor of a wealthy suburb like here in Beverly Hills, which is just a few miles away from the epicenter of the world's entertainment machine, then you'd imagine you'd be better equipped to deal with the stresses that fame brings. But when you're from a small, windswept town like Dunfermline, where Stuart Adamson grew up, then the pressures could be much harder to deal with. From small town to big country, the guitarist and singer died thousands of miles away from the mining community where he was born. Last September, he hanged himself in a hotel in Hawaii.
He was caught between the bringing up of a family and going to work, and in this case going to work was being away from home a lot. And I don't think he wanted to go that route, let the work take over.
Back home, friends and colleagues remembered a local hero at a memorial concert.
The one thing that you all will never know is the feeling that we had when this group really kicked. Money can't buy that feeling.
He was one of Scotland's most famous songwriters, but Stuart Adamson rarely seemed happy with the fame that brought, preferring to spend Saturday afternoons here with his family and friends at the local football ground, rather than with a Wembley Stadium full of fans. Tell me about your memories here with Stuart.
Well, coming here to see a football match with Stuart was just like going to church almost, with all these people coming here.
Really?
Yeah.
Tony Butler was the bass guitarist in Big Country. He says Stuart Adamson, the musician, was unhappy playing Stuart Adamson, the celebrity.
What were the elements of being famous that he didn't enjoy? Was it the loss of anonymity?
Totally. I remember a story, I think, he was walking down Fifth Avenue in New York one day with his family, and I think some people sort of spotted him and ran across the road, literally just stood there and started screaming in front of him, genuinely fan-like. But it shocked him, it frightened his family, his kids were quite small, and he became a very protective father, and he kind of reacted quite badly to it. Fame was something he just didn't like, I don't think, as a concept. He just wanted to be seen, Stuart Adamson, the writer, from Dunfermline.
As well as struggling with his dual role as pop singer and family man, Stuart battled with alcoholism. His son Callum believes fame made it more difficult for his dad to beat the addiction.
it's bound to be even harder for anyone who's around that sort of lifestyle and the people who idolise that lifestyle. And he never ever tried to live up to the rock star image or anything like that. Maybe fame was a little bit hard for him because of what was expected of him. He really, really struggled with it. And, you know, it wouldn't have mattered if he was, you know, a guitar player or a bricklayer. It doesn't make a difference if you're an alcoholic. You're going to have a life full of like maybe an inner torment that you just can't seem to shake off.